Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome to the Solminod Show with Sonya, where all things are possible. And remember to continue to inhale love so you too can exhale compassion. I hope y'all have had a fantastic week. Whew, my week has been busy, but I am focused, I am moving forward, and we have amazing things yet to come. So continue to tune in here and watch the show every Sunday morning at 10:30. And if you can't catch it on Sunday mornings, if you're in church or traveling or whatever, hey, you can always catch us on the internet. Go to solminod.com. All of the episodes will be there, so just go ahead and check it out there, and you can keep yourself up to the latest with all the shows that we have on. Don't forget that we have Dr. Jacobson that will be coming on. He will be restoring my torn rotator cuff. We're going to go ahead and put the surgery on TV. He'll be a guest right here on the show, and we'll walk you through it. I'll let you know ahead of time before we show those particular clips. So if your tummy gets a little bit queasy, we'll make sure that you don't get jacked up or anything, okay? Hey, we have a fantastic show lined up for you today. My girl, Cheryl Haskins, is back on the Solminod Show. She was a guest on the show last summer when we were on the internet. She has returned here via Skype. Cheryl Haskins has authored this amazing book called Girlfriends Don't Matter. So guys, stay tuned, because this book is just as much for you as it is for my sisters out there. So I promise you, you will be amazed. You may be a bit challenged, but you will be amazed at what she has to say after the break. This is going to be a fantastic show. If you're interested in picking up this book, you can go ahead and get it at Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. And of course, you can always go to girlfriendsdon'tmatter.com. You'll also find her on Facebook. It's going to be a great show. Hey, I'm off to Mexico here, coming up pretty soon, December 6th, with my girl Christy. Love you, girl. And she and I are going to go down there to one of my all-time favorite resorts. It's Ocean Coral in Turquesa. It's a 5-star, all-inclusive VIP resort. I'll be heading down. If you too are interested in getting the hookup and heading down there on your own holiday, contact me there at solminod.com. Click on contact, and I will extend the same great rates to you as well. So let me know. A lot of great shows coming up, you guys. So stay tuned, go to the website, see what's happening, keep those questions coming. I love to hear from my viewers, love your commentary, even love your critiques. So if you'll notice, there'll be minor changes that'll take place here on the show from week to week, because I value your input. So please continue to correspond and to communicate with us. And if you are interested in investing in this show, if you're interested in being a sponsor here for the Solminod Show with Sonya, please contact us. There are many opportunities that are here and available for you to help to promote your service or your business. So go ahead and go to the website, click on contact, give us a holler, and we'll go ahead and talk with you. Don't forget, we are going to put Lenny Wilkins' show on here. He has been a guest on the show many times. We have a fantastic interview that we've already done, put together, and we'll go ahead and present that for you here on the show. Hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Remember to stay patient, stay true to yourself, and just extend words of love and compassion one to another. We'll be right back after the break, y'all.
Fall is just around the corner. Make sure your furnace is up to the task. Have Thrasher Service check your furnace for only $82. Thrasher Service offers GeoStar geothermal heating and cooling, which can save you money on your heating bill. So before the cold weather hits, call Thrasher Service, serving the Des Moines area since 1978.
Let our family at Thrasher Service make your family comfortable year-round. Call us at 262-2229 or visit us online at thrasherservice.com.
Sell things you no longer need for more money in your pocket. Herman's fine jewelry. Why let it sit collecting dust? You're in a pinch and cash is a must. Why not take that old ring where cash is king? Sell things you no longer need for more money in your pocket. Herman's fine jewelry.
Hey y'all, welcome back from the break. As promised, we have a fantastic show for you today. Guys, this is for you just as much as it is for the ladies, so don't go anywhere. If you are a female and you are over 30 and you are looking to be married, this show is for you. And if you happen to know somebody, a sister, a brother, a sister, a niece, a auntie, a cousin, a girlfriend, a friend, you have a friend that is a female over 30 looking to be married, married, then this show is for you to as well, to pass on this information to them. We have a dear friend of mine, Cheryl Haskins, is with us today. She has authored the book called Girlfriends Don't Matter. This book is what every woman should know about dating, men, and relationships. And guys, if you are watching this and you too are interested in being married, know that this message is going out to ladies today. And if your standards line up with this as well, then you will be good to go. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome my friend, returning here to the Solminod Show, Cheryl Haskins. Welcome back, Cheryl. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Sonya. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. You look fabulous, by the way.
Thank you.
So you have been on the show before. For those of us, those of you who have watched the show in the past, the last show was an hour long. This is just a 30-minute show, and so we are just going to go ahead and dive right into this. I'm looking at this book. It says here, Cheryl Haskins, a business professional and a pastor in Washington State, was widowed in 2009 after 29 years of marriage. Mother of 3 and granddaughter of 4, Cheryl has many interests and is overcoming tragedy by helping others and by living her late son Aaron Jr.'s platinum rule: do more for others than they do for you. So Cheryl, what is this tragedy that you're referencing here in the book?
Well, just simply, I mean, and it's kind of overwhelming when I think about it all at once, but my father passed away at the beginning of 2009, and then 9 months later, my husband, who I'd been married to for 29 years, died in his sleep in October of 2009, and then a short 17 months later, my oldest son, Aaron Jr., died in his sleep on February 12th, which was his birthday, and at 29 years old. And so it's been overwhelming. It's been a lot, but at the same time, you know, because of my faith in Jesus and he's been there for me through all of it, I'm able to find a way kind of to walk through it and still be healthy, you know, and whole in the process.
Indeed you are, and you have put this book together. You have a group that you have been meeting there with in Seattle. You have been speaking into the lives of other women who desire to be married and to no longer be somebody's girlfriend. We're going to get into those numbers a little bit, but boy, the success rate's just been phenomenal. I just want to share a little bit more with my viewers. It says here, yes, I said it, someone had to. And Cheryl, I love this book. Your personality just shines through. You are hilarious. You are sharp, you are witty, and this is so in your face, but it's just funny and it's real. And I just love that you are keeping it real, girl. It says, always a girlfriend, never a wife. That's because for men, girlfriends don't matter. Yikes. You've done the dating thing. You've been a girlfriend. Wife is the title you want now. To get it, you'll need to change your thinking about men, dating, and relationships. It's time for a relationship revolution. And you trademarked that relationship revolution, didn't you?
I did, because I want to start one, and I want it to become something that kind of sweeps across the whole dating scene.
And it says in his countercultural book, author Cheryl Haskins challenges conventional thought about being a woman of value, significance, and worth in today's world, about dating, courtship, and marriage, and the infamous list, and we'll talk about that. It says Girlfriends Don't Matter shows how you can be empowered and encouraged, equipped to lead a healthy, vibrant life, that is found by that special someone. Girlfriends Don't Matter tells you everything a woman should know before entering into a relationship leading to marriage. Get ready for a heart-to-heart girl talk with no sugary coating, period. Get ready for change if you want it. And it is, it's if you want it. I should say, you know, there are those of you ladies who are out there today and you are single and you are content with that, and God bless you for it. That's wonderful. There is a place for that, and there are individuals who choose that for their life. That is great. That's just fine. This is speaking to the women who have been dating. They've been on the dating scene. They've been somebody's girlfriend and somebody else's girlfriend, and maybe they've lived together, and maybe they've even brought somebody's child into the world. They've had their children, but you've not been the wife, and that's what this book is all about. So Cheryl, let's just go ahead and take a look here at this first chapter. Can you help us here? Boy, some of these are hilarious. You say here in the first one, shake up your thinking. It says get ready. So you want to be a girlfriend, and then there's the list and the definition of dating. Can you touch on those subjects for us?
Yes, I'll talk to the definition of dating. Dating has become such a high stakes proposition in today's society. This is the first thing that impacted me when I became single, once I was ready to start actually dating again. And it's so high stakes. Everybody is in it like it's like life or death, where 35 years ago when I dated for the first time, you went out with your friends, your men friends, and
Right.
that was a date. It wasn't this, serial monogamous non-marriage relationship where people pretend like they're married when they're not, which is what I was seeing all around me. And I was like, what is wrong with all of you people? And they're trying to tell me something's wrong with me. And that's why I'm saying it's countercultural, because I'm cutting back. I'm like, no, you need to stop that. That's not even real. That's just so weird to me.
It and
And
it and
so
it is, and I love that. Running around pretending like you're married when you're not. They need to stop. All right, go ahead.
And and I had an example where I was watching something on television, and I was watching this couple argue, and then the psychotherapist, you know, finally said, "Well, you two are engaged." And I thought, well, they're not even married. Why is he in her business? I'm thinking, why are you trying to act like you're married when you're not married? And you're wondering why you're having conflict. Then there was a couple where they were actually married, but they were acting like they were boyfriend and girlfriend in how they were dealing with each other. So the society has got all turned upside down, and I'm here to kind of right the boat, get the boat back up where it's supposed to be, so all the water can go out. We can start sailing again.
Yes, let's, shall we? Okay, and it says here, so you want to be a girlfriend? Tell us about that one in Shake Up Your Thinking in section 1.
Well, the whole idea of being a girlfriend for a woman over 30 really is a waste of time, especially if the woman wants to be married and build a life and have a family with a man. If that's what you want to do, then you don't really have time to be a girlfriend.
Mm-mm.
And, the man can call you a girlfriend if he wants to. I mean, that's his prerogative, but you're not going to be in that situation for a long period of time if you're over 30. And
Right,
so I'm asking women to say, do you really want to be a girlfriend, or is it want to be as a, because if you want to be a wife, you're going to have to change your whole mindset.
right. And then, of course, if you want to be a wife and then you want to be a mother, there is the whole biological clock ticking away, right?
Yes, absolutely. I was talking with a gal that does my hair, and she's 34, and she's been in a relationship, quote, for 2 years. And I told her, when you go see him again, you've got to be prepared to end it.
Right,
And she's like, what? End it? I go, no, you got to be prepared to end it, because you're going to have to say to him, I'm 34. I want to have at least 2 children. I want to do that with my husband.
right.
And you're not going to be him, then I've got to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you don't have to give the man the power to do it. You can end it. And she just looked at me like, I have to think about that. I go, I know you do, but go home and think about it and then deal with it. Because get into, they think if they just hang around long enough, a man will marry them. And most of the time, if you've been with them that long, I don't know whether or not they want to marry.
Mm-mm. And Cheryl, if I have to say, don't you think that that takes a confident woman to do that? It actually takes great strength. It's not weakness, but boldness and confidence to be able to go to her guy and say that.
Yes, and it takes you understanding your value. When you know who you are as a woman, and especially a woman of God, you know what you bring to the table. And you know that being a wife is an honor. You know that being a mother and building a home with your husband is a really big deal. Then that's where the boldness comes from, to say, are you going to be that wife? Because I don't want a boyfriend. I know God's going to bless me with a husband.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Okay, so let's just go up here to this next section then. This says section 2, relationship boot camp. I mean, there's those who are saying, I'm waiting on the Lord. Well, how long are they going to wait? Till they're 82? And then there's, I love this one, silly women. Can we talk about silly women here before we go to a break?
Yeah. Chapter Silly Women is just, it's written for the woman, all the women out there who are doing all these things for men that really typically a wife would do. And then it makes it hard for women who actually have boundaries and control and understand that a man deserves who marries us. And then all these other women out there that are willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what they have to do. It just makes the situation very intense. And who wouldn't take something for free? And I'm not just talking about
Right.
free meals, free dry cleaning, free babysitting, free emotional support. Give it to me. Give it to me for free. Who wouldn't do that? Nature. And it's silly women that deliver all the time. And
Yep.
that was a tough one to write. Necessary.
Oh, it is necessary. And may I just add, it is not the silly women that these men marry, though. And so many of these silly women are also pursuing a husband. and that is an empty path. It is a dead end road. You will not find a husband that way, because those men, once they decide to settle down, they are not looking for a silly woman. They are looking for a woman who has boundaries and is a woman of integrity and has similar values to theirs. So the silly woman syndrome. Ladies, if y'all are out there and you're one of those silly women just giving it all up for free because you think you're advancing yourself, you're not. You're not. And if you want to be married, keep listening to the show. We have some more tips for you. Cheryl, we're going to go ahead and go into a break here in just a moment. And when we come back, I also want to talk about the desperate wannabe housewives. All right? So we'll be right back with Cheryl Haskins in just a moment.
$600 Monkeys, West Glen Town Center.
Big, small, fluffy, or scaly, pets are a part of our family. They deserve quality care when it comes to keeping them healthy. When caring for your critters, you should only trust Dr. Anderson of Anderson Animal Hospital. The Anderson Animal Hospital offers care for all kinds of pets, from the smallest chinchilla or mouse to the biggest German Shepherd or horse. Whether it's a routine vaccination, toenail trim, or necessary heartworm prevention or surgery, Dr. Anderson offers consistent care for your pet. Call or stop in today.
This book is incredible. I cannot get enough of it. I've gone through it several times, and every time I read this book, even though I've been married for 22 years, I do have many girlfriends who are single and who would love to be married, different relatives, and I just know a lot of women, many colleagues who would like to be married. And every time I read this book, I feel so empowered, and I feel empowered to be able to pass this wisdom on to these other women. I mean, these are nuggets of truth, and really, it's just common sense. It is simplistic. It just breaks it down, and it saves a lot of heartache and a lot of time. And guys, hey, don't worry. This show is not about male bashing, because we love men. Right, Cheryl? We love
Absolutely.
men.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They are here for us to be in relationship with. It's just a matter of what type of relationship that is going to be. And for those of you women who are watching this show, if you are roughly over the age of 30 years old and you're interested in being married, continue to watch. And for guys, if you have that friend or loved one or relative who is a female over 30, have her pick up this book, keep watching the show, and you can carry on these pieces of nuggets and truth to her as well. So Cheryl, where we left off, I said I want to talk to you about desperate wannabe housewives. Can you talk to me about that?
Well, this chapter was one of the longest chapters in the book, and probably one of the tougher ones to write. But it's about sex before marriage and other ways to give yourself away for free. And from a Christian woman's perspective, we always get the sex one. Okay, I'm not going to do sex. I'm not going to have sex with a guy I'm not married to. But we forget about all the other areas that we can, like our emotions or our finances, or even having children. I guess you have to have sex to have children, but you know what I'm saying. Or
right.
just all the ways that we do things for men that just are not appropriate if they're not your husband. And I guess having been married for 29 years and getting married so young, I just, all of those things where I gave myself, I did it because I love this man. He was my husband, and I wanted to bless him. I wanted to show him all the things that I knew how to do. But I dated him too, and he was so shocked when he married me that I knew all this stuff, because he didn't get to see any of it ahead of time. It was pretty funny.
You were holding out, weren't you? You were holding out, huh?
I was. It was really, really quite funny, because I could sew and I could cook and I could do all these things, and he just thought because my nails were always polished and I always looked nice that I didn't know how to do anything. It was pretty funny.
Well, it says right here in this chapter, it says women make so many sacrifices and give in ways we should reserve for the only man who deserves it, our husband. And that's what you're talking about earlier, is husband privileges.
Yes. And there are just, when we value ourselves as women, one of the scriptures I love is when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And a lot of times people stop there, but I love the rest of it. and he obtains favor from the Lord, which means there's a level of favor that a man can have on his life before he's married. But after he's married, there's a whole nother level of favor that comes on his life. And I'm the wife, I'm the one that brought the favor. And when you recognize that,
Yep.
you realize that this is a husband privilege. Only husbands get to experience that level of favor on their life. Boyfriends don't, fiancés don't, guys just hanging out and paying bills don't. Husbands get that privilege. And when you realize you're bringing that to a man's life, you want to reserve everything that you can for that special guy that actually marries you.
And there would be a lot of women who have lived with their boyfriend for 2, 3, 5, 7 years. Maybe they even have children together. How does that differ?
Well, I like to say it this way, and it's kind of cold-blooded, but hey, my book is straight talk. This is not prison. You do not get credit for time served. Okay, so all those years that you did stuff up until the date that you actually got married don't count towards your marriage, in the sense of now you're married, you're building a whole nother thing. And it's different when you're married. And a lot of people will argue with me on that. And I don't mind the argument, because I've been married and now I'm not. And I know the difference. Trust me, as a single woman, what it's like to be out there without a husband. I mean, the spiritual dynamic part of it, the protection part of it, that sense of covering and well-being that I had. I know that's not there now, and no man I go on a date with can give that to me.
That's right. And it says here as well, it says you do not have to prove you care about a man by letting him have access to your personal property and finances, especially if he is not your husband.
It seems so simple, doesn't it, Sonya?
It does. It seems so basic. But they live together, and he drives the car. And what's that story you always reference about, him rolling in his friends' cars before, and now all of a sudden he needs hers for whatever reason. Is he on her insurance? No.
At my book signing, when I launched the book back in July, I was at the Nordstrom's in Bellevue Square in Washington State. And, I had a gal come up who worked at the store and said, I have a problem. And I said, what's your problem? She said, well, I've lived with my boyfriend from high school for the last 10 years. We have 3 kids. We just bought a house together, and we're not married. And what should I do? I said, what do you want to do? Do you want to be his wife? She goes, well, I'm doing everything a wife does. I said, that's not my question. My question is do you want to be his wife? She goes, I'm really not sure I do. I said, well, you better extricate yourself then. I said, but you're in a very, very serious situation now. And so you're going to have to get some emotional help and some support from your family in order to be able to get this situation the way that you want it. And if you don't want to be his wife, then you shouldn't be playing house. And that's okay. And that's going to take time. And she's been working on that. But women get into those situations and just think that if they stay long enough, the guy's going to marry them.
Right. 10. Well, as you were saying, covering her scenario, I'm in this predicament, and I'm so unhappy, and I just don't know what to do. I've been living with my boyfriend from high school for 10 years. I'm sitting here counting. A, we've had our children. B, we bought a house together. C, it's like, how many problems does she have before her? That's just such a shame. It says right here, it says, after giving so much of themselves, it is no wonder so many women are devastated when a non-marriage relationship ends.
Yes, because we do those things, that makes a marriage. But again, a marriage is a emotional, and it is a physical, and it is a spiritual arrangement between a man and a woman. It is not based on a bunch of stuff you do. And so there's people out there emulating, and it's like I said in the book, you can go in the garage and stand there until Jesus comes back, and you will not become a car.
Right.
So you can marriage, you can do marriage activities, but it doesn't mean you're married or you have a marriage. And so many young people and old people alike in today's society have been sucked into that relationship is just as significant as being married.
And so much time goes into it too. I mean, it says right here, you could have dated the last 3 men who took up 9 years of your life at the same time and found out within 6 months that none of them were for you.
Yes, and it's a lot of investment of time and who we are as women, and especially when you're in you're approaching your 30s, and the prime childbearing years, unfortunately, are in your 20s and 30s, and
tick tock goes the clock.
Yeah, and it's not with technology now and stuff. You can have children, in older years, but the point is that the energy levels that we have and our ability to be flexible and all those things are just at their prime in your 20s and 30s and maybe a little into your 40s. And so when you bypass those years because you're trying to find a husband or trying to be married because you're just not making good decisions, then it's unfortunate. And I'm trying to like put a stop to that. I'm trying to help gals see that they don't have to do that anymore. They don't have to be afraid of being rejected anymore, because they need to know who they are. And because a man doesn't want to be with them doesn't mean they're not a good person. You're not, that,
Right, exactly. Well, it's like the phrase that you've cornered, you know, a relationship revolution. We need to have a relationship revolution. It says right here, I truly believe that courtship can lead back to friendship or on to marriage, and we have to be mature enough to accept the outcome either way. So what you're saying through the book is that you go from friendship, if you're both interested, and this is what you're pursuing, to courtship. And then from there, deciding, and quickly, here within a few months. I mean, you really have an idea, especially for women over 30. You've lived, you've been around the block, you know, whether or not you think that this is the man you want to marry, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And then it can go on to engagement. But if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, there's no need in wasting anybody else's time. You can go back to friendship.
right. And you know, the whole idea of, you know, what do you do when you're quote courting? And to me, that's exclusive relationship with one man where you're not seeing any other men. Okay. The only question I tell women to be asking themselves in that courtship process is, can I live with that? Because most things don't change. They just don't. And so if there's something that he does or says that you're, I can't do that, then you're going to be, because most things
Right.
are changing. My husband Aaron was late to everything. He was wedding by 2 hours. He was late to every single thing, and except a few. And you know, when I was dating him, he was late. You know what? I asked myself that, and the answer was yes, I could live with it. So
Right.
that never changed in 29 years. In fact, it became something that we just were accustomed to. My family was accustomed to. Just tell him a different time, and so he was there on time. So it just that adjustment. So you know, the only question you should be asking when you're seeing someone exclusively courting is, can I live with that?
That's right. And we have about 30 seconds left. Another thing it says here is the purpose of courtship is to see if you should be engaged and shortly thereafter married. There is about 20 seconds left. What is it that you want to say to all of our viewers out there to sum up this book, Girlfriends Don't Matter, that can be picked up at Barnes & Noble?
That if you want to be a wife, this is for you, and learn from it. If it's only one thing, and it'll revolutionize your life.
Yes, indeed. And you can also contact Cheryl for public speaking and for mentoring at girlfriendsdon'tmatter.com. We're going to go ahead and sign off now, Cheryl, so I thank you for joining us here on the Solminod Show. Y'all be blessed with whatever you put your hands to do, and until next week, ciao. Wardrobe provided by Fashions by the Hall Tree. Plants and flowers provided by Gertz House Gallery. Set provided and staged by Interiors by Andrea. Hair services provided by Michelle Mayola. Fitness and training services provided by Kosama. Nail services provided by J&J Nails.